Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Christina. I have a master's degree in nutrition, and today I'm exposing the lies that the carnivore dieters are spreading. Before we get started, please subscribe if you're not already. I post reactions like this and weekly workouts for all fitness levels. So let's all get on the same page. What is the carnivore diet? It's an extreme, no plant, fad diet with a cult following. A fad diet is any diet that promises fast weight loss, eliminates whole food groups, and or encourages consumption of one food at the expense of other foods, food groups, nutrients, etc. Every fad diet works by restricting calories. Fad diet does not mean it's popular. It's not like fashions or like that are fads or stuff like that. I'm not talking about diet trends. I'm talking about a fad diet, and that's what I mean by that. Carnivore is the newest iteration of paleo, caveman diet. Right now it's carnivore. It's kind of like that next level carnivore, lion diet, that kind of thing, but it's nothing new. Before carnivore, keto, paleo, we had South Beach, Atkins. It's a low carb or no carb diet, basically. The most devout cult members claim to only eat like beef, butter, and salt. These people are obsessed with ribeyes. Like, grow up. Some carnivores include eggs, dairy, and some even include fruit. There's some divide on what's considered gospel on the diet, but that's basically it. These people are terrified of vegetables, fruits, seed oils. Interesting, though, that most of these people don't give up coffee, a plant. The carnivores claim that plant compounds are toxic and make us ill because they contain anti-nutrients, mainly oxalates, lectins, phytates, tannins, and some others. And they especially love scaring people about oxalates and oxalate dumping. In her book, Toxic Superfoods, Sally K. Norton calls oxalic acid toxic, corrosive, and she claims it steals minerals. Like, calm down. You are fear-mongering about plants.
Oxalic acid exists in plants in varying quantities. When they bind minerals, usually calcium, the mineral becomes less bioavailable. In other words, it's harder for the body to absorb because it's oxalated. The complex of oxalic acid and the mineral is called oxalate. When I refer to oxalate, this is what I mean. Folks who may want to consult their doctor about oxalates in their diet would be anyone with gut disease, gut dysfunction, if you just had a round of antibiotics, if you've had weight loss surgery recently or any gut surgery, anyone who's prone to mineral deficiency or prone to certain types of kidney stones. I put a link in the description box for more information.
If you want to reduce oxalates, cook your veggies, sprout, soak and sprout foods like beans, nuts, seeds, and pair those scary high oxalate veggies with foods that are rich in calcium, right? If oxalate binds calcium, we could also say that calcium binds oxalate. So if you are one of those folks who does have to worry about taking in oxalates, which by the way is not most people at all, those are a few strategies to reduce your oxalate intake. But for most people, it's no big deal. All foods, whether it's plant, fungi, animal, even a multivitamin, they all have competing nutrients in them. Your ribeye steak is no exception. And this fact really highlights the importance of eating like a well-balanced diet. The carnivores also conveniently leave out the fact that a lot of plant compounds have anti-cancer properties, antioxidant properties, and other health benefits like helping to manage blood sugar. Like, they're not just so evil. And it's like, this is what happens when people who haven't studied nutrition like write books about nutrition. Like that Sally K. Norton, I think she's a master in public health, which she's obviously very educated. She's not dumb, but that's not her field. And when you get like a little grip on a piece of information like that, you can't assume this tells like a whole story and you've like broken the code on a dieting. Which, to be fair, on one hand, maybe she really does think that, in which case she's deluded, or she knows she's just out to make a buck, which just makes her kind of slimy. And she's not the only one. Like, these carnivores on Twitter are just running amok, spreading false information. Makes me sick. All right, so we talked about oxalates, what they are. They bind to minerals in certain plant foods, and the carnivores are all terrified of them. So now we're going to talk about oxalate dumping. Oxalate dumping is allegedly when you detox yourself from plant foods, the body allegedly dumps stored oxalates into the bloodstream, resulting in joint pain and a bunch of other extremely vague symptoms.
Oxalate arthritis does exist, but it is very rare.
Yeah, they're not talking about that. What the carnivores on Twitter are saying is that all their years of like health and like green juicing has caused oxalates to store up in the body, and now that they're no longer eating plants, they're still getting hurt because the oxalates are being dumped into the bloodstream and like, I don't know, go in like settling in like the joints. That's what they think. And then like you'll see posts where someone will be like, "Oh, I indulged in a potato, and oh, it hurt to walk the next day." You guys are so foolish. No study, listen to me, no study has ever shown that oxalates are dumped from the body. Also, I wish they would not call it that. Ugh. The carnivores brag that their diet is the best. It's going to cure all your health problems. You're going to be thin. You're going to have energy. You're going to be pain-free, clear of mind. You're going to go to heaven. You're going to win the lottery. But then if you go ahead and try the carnivore diet and you don't feel well on it, the suggestion is that could be a result of oxalate dumping. Just like, keep going. Don't listen to your body at all. Keep eating ribeyes and butter and no fiber. Right, so it kind of keeps you into it. Like, first, they want you to give up the plants because they're hurting you. They're full of anti-nutrients, big scary oxalates. Oh no. But then once you are on the diet and you've eliminated the plants and you're still feeling like shit, nothing's changed. Maybe you feel worse. I know you're not pooping. They will tell you that it's your body dumping oxalates. So just keep on it. That advice is pure trash. These charlatans have created a problem to sell you the solution. They're just spreading lies so they can build followings, sell books, sell courses, and it's all just a huge waste of your time and money. Okay, so I went on about the oxalates for a while, but I had to cover them. That's the first major health claim, the first like big lie I think is worth exposing for the lie that it is, that plants are toxic and we shouldn't be eating them. That's false. The next claim I want to look at is some of these claims that the diet cures disease. These posts are outrageous. Like, these people have to have just no shame on earth to go post these on the internet. I mean, even for Twitter. It's sad. It is sad because they'll believe anything. So when you're suffering the effects of poor metabolic health, obesity, insulin resistance, all that kind of stuff, you are on a sinking ship. And when you're on a sinking ship, any lifeboat will save you. What I'm saying is that there are many ways to improve your metabolic health, burn body fat. The carnivore diet isn't the answer, it's just one of the lifeboats. Literally anything is an improvement from the sinking ship. The carnivore diet eliminates a lot more than just like processed junk foods, though. They basically eliminate all but one type of food, and that's meat. That reduces calories, plain and simple. The carnivores like to cry about calories in, calories out. Oh, counting calories didn't work for me. That doesn't work. It's all about satiety. Calories don't matter. But there is no denying that there's a massive calorie reduction for a lot of these people. And that's what caused the weight loss, not a meat diet. We got pictures showing how they got jacked after eating nothing but meat. That's a lie. Several of them only started weight training conveniently after they went carnivore. So that doesn't really prove anything to me. And the meat diet didn't just like pack muscle on to the body. That's not how that works. I also suspect that most of them are taking some sort of exogenous testosterone, steroids. There's definitely eating disorder behavior happening here, which is no surprise to me. The diet eliminates almost everything. It's extremely restrictive and rigid. And I know from my own experience that disordered eating often kind of lurks beneath the guise of health. I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. I have a lot of before and afters that I think I'm going to compile into a separate video. Let's look at the difference in the lighting here. Let's look at the difference in like the angle. So we'll save that for another time. The worst lies, though, are that the carnivore diet cures disease, especially otherwise incurable disease. Give me a fucking break. The carnivore diet doesn't cure MS. The carnivore diet doesn't cure cancer. If an all meat diet cured diseases like MS and cancer, then that would be the treatment plan for it. We'd already be doing it. We'd already be implementing that as a treatment and curing people. But there is no evidence that it works. Literally zero. There's no evidence that that works as a treatment for anything. So we don't use it as a treatment for anything. An expert opinion is the lowest form of evidence. It is literally at the very bottom of the evidence hierarchy. And anecdotes aren't evidence at all. This is misleading and it's scientifically untrue. Worst case scenario, someone does the carnivore diet instead of seeking appropriate, effective, evidence-based treatments and then ends up worse off or even dead for listening to these quacks. It's disgusting to me. And if you try to ask for evidence, these are the replies. FYI, a link to your blog is not a source. Also, look at this, like how rude. To me, the fact that these experts are giving responses that are not educational, not professional, is a huge red flag. I don't think they actually know what they're talking about. They don't know. They don't know what they're talking about. I really don't believe that they had a coherent, scientifically correct answer, and that's why they didn't give one. Another red flag is this like narrow, closed-minded thinking, just not willing to engage or acknowledge contradictory evidence. Again, remember, these people are grifters. They're trying to sell you something. So those are the biggest lies that I see the carnivores posting. I mostly follow or like see the posts on Twitter. I don't know that much about carnivores here on YouTube or TikTok or anything like that. So these are the biggest lies kind of that I see in my bubble over on Twitter, that plants are toxic, That's like the big one. Plants are not toxic. That's so ridiculous. Eat your plants. And that, carnivore is like the best diet. It'll put you in like the best metabolic health. Again, we're going to take a look at some before and afters in another video. So subscribe for that. And that the diet cures all kinds of disease, which is also not true. The bottom line is that the advantages of eating fruits and veggies far outweigh any disadvantages. And the carnivore diet is not a magic pill for losing weight or curing disease. It's a fad diet, and these scammers are trying to scam you out of your money by telling you lies about the diet. But once you know the truth, they all just sound like Nicocado.
This is health because there's no seed oils. Seed oils lead to degenerations of the joints, inflammation, and bad biochemistry of the microbiomes. So always eat cows, and that's it. Oh, and I'm out of breath. We need Chase. Where's the Chase?